In the early 17th century, Spain ruled vast territories in the Americas, and its power depended on a constant flow of treasure across the Atlantic Ocean. One of the most important ships assigned to this dangerous mission was the Nuestra Señora de Atocha, a heavily armed Spanish galleon built to carry both soldiers and enormous wealth. In 1622, the Atocha was part of a treasure fleet leaving Cuba bound for Spain. Its cargo included silver coins from Peru and Mexico, gold bars, copper and rare emeralds from Colombia. Because the ship was so heavily loaded, it sat low in the water, making it slow and difficult to control. Only a few days after departing Havana, disaster struck. A powerful hurricane formed suddenly and swept through the fleet near the Florida Keys. At that time, weather forecasting did not exist, and sailors had no warning of the storm. The Atocha was driven onto sharp coral reefs, where its wooden hull was torn open. Water rushed in, and the ship sank rapidly into deep ocean water. Spain immediately realized the scale of the loss and launched salvage efforts within months. Divers, using only crude equipment like weighted lines and breath-holding techniques, tried to recover the treasure. Some nearby ships were partially salvaged, but the Atocha lay in deeper, more dangerous waters. Eventually, Spain abandoned the search, and the Atocha disappeared from memory, transforming from a royal disaster into a legendary lost treasure. For more than 3 centuries, the wreck remained hidden beneath the sea, waiting to become one of the most famous shipwreck discoveries in history. The beginning of an impossible mission. For centuries, the treasure of the Nuestra Señora de Atocha was nothing more than a legend passed down through history books and sailor stories. Most people believed the ship and its treasure were gone forever. But in the late 1960s, Mel Fisher saw the story differently. He believed that if the ship really existed, then it could also be found. Mel Fisher was not a rich explorer or a government-backed scientist. He was an ordinary man with an extraordinary dream. After finding success with smaller shipwrecks, he became fully convinced that the Atocha was still lying somewhere beneath the waters of the Florida Keys. In 1969, he made a bold and risky decision. He sold his business, moved his wife, children and crew to Florida, and dedicated his entire life to searching for the lost ship. With limited technology, old maps and historical records, Fisher began scanning the ocean floor day after day. Many experts laughed at the idea and told him the search was impossible. But Mel Fisher ignored the doubts. To him, this was not just about treasure, it was about proving that history could still be uncovered by those who refused to quit. Years of struggle, loss and persistence. As the years passed, the search became harder and more painful than anyone expected. The waters around the Florida Keys were dangerous, with strong currents, poor visibility, sharp coral and sudden storms. Most days ended with nothing found at all. After 16 long years of struggle, patience and heartbreak, everything changed in 1985. Mel Fisher's team began finding small but important clues, silver coins, cannons and artifacts scattered across the seafloor. These objects formed what Fisher called the Silver Trail, helping the team understand how the hurricane had torn the ship apart and spread its cargo. Carefully following this trail, the divers finally reached the main wreck site of the Atocha. What they discovered shocked the world. The ocean floor revealed over 40 tons of treasure, including approximately 185,000 silver coins, 125 gold bars marked with Spanish royal stamps, weapons, and some of the finest Colombian emeralds ever found. The treasure was valued at around $400 million, but its historical importance was priceless.